Hi. So we are continuing on with episode 4 of the Communication Toolbox, and today I'm going to speak with you guys about the sender-receiver theory. Now, again, the Communication Toolbox is a curriculum that I put together back in the day, the very beginning of my career here at Sojourn. So this is about 15 years old, and it's been a real hoot kind of going back through, but I actually love this visual. So you can see in this picture here that we have the sender and the receiver. So we're going to start over here with the sender, and behind the scenes what's going on for the sender is this, what we're calling thoughts. Now there's layers to the thoughts, as we've spoken about from the Virginia Satir iceberg model, but also we've talked from an emotionally focused point of view, and that there's feelings, there's beliefs, there's unmet needs, there's yearnings, there's all sorts of things that are going on with our message. That behind the message there's all these different parts of really deep down what we want to be understood. We want to be known, we want to be heard, we want to be seen for what's going on inside of us. So these are our concepts, these are our ideas, this is just some information, maybe some strategies, some new way of being, how we could improve together. And then we come to the message. And the message is the words that we use to convey what's going on the inside. Now, here's strategy number 1. The more clearly we can connect the words in our message to actually what's going on inside of us, the clearer that message becomes. Now comes the next piece, which is the sending. And this is part of what can get us into trouble. So sending is all about tone of voice, body language, volume, facial expressions, and then culture on top of it. So what I think is culturally normal might be very strange to a different culture. And that's where sometimes too we can have a cultural breakdown. And then beyond that is just noise. And noise might be all of these different problems that are getting in the way. The actual volume of the environment. Is there a child running around? Is there a dog that keeps trying to, insert themselves, which is kind of funny, but it does happen when we're in communication. Is someone distracted? They're playing a video game or they're on their phone. So many different noises that can influence what's going on. And noise is really just associated with distractibility. Like, is this an environment where we can really focus on those concepts, ideas, and beliefs that are so important? And now we're getting over to the receiver. This is the person who we want to listen. And the first point with receiving is this interpretation. And this is how the message is listened to by someone else. So this is really influenced by who that person is, their personal experience, their past conversations, their personal values, their expectations for other people, their common sense, their personality, and their culture. There's a lot of their own interpretation that is so out of our control. And even somebody that we know very well, like a spouse or even a child, they have so much story that we are not a part of. So really gauging their ability to interpret is very, very hard. The more we know somebody, the more we realize, oh, these are some of the pieces that influence whether they can hear me or not. That interpretation is important for us to consider, because right over here again, way back here, we have something that is in our heart and in our minds that we want to get over to the receiver. And the receiver, that's where the message is landing. And after it goes through this, all of these filters, all of these parts, finally the message gets to the listener. So when communication breaks down and we're sort of wondering what happened, this is a great visual to remind us, oh, right, did my words really line up with what I wanted to say? Usually not. Wow, how did I send that message? Did I have any sort of subtle body markers, micro cues that hinted at some sort of distress for me that might have been uncomfortable? There's a good chance. How was our environment? I mean, COVID right now, we're all like trapped in our home with too many people, or, you know, these different hurdles that really make it hard. So the noise thing is still really hard to navigate. Interpretation. Did I forget about something that was really important for my listener to make it easier for them to hear me? And then finally, the message and everything that's going on inside of this person that we just need to consider and hopefully have grace for. So what we have in control of, there's not always a lot of things, but this helps us to put into perspective how I could evaluate and how I could take charge to get a cleaner, clearer message going to the person I'm trying to reach. All right, you guys, so this is just a fun visual that goes along with the communication toolbox. And actually, I have a really good one that is coming up for our next episode that I'm excited about to dust it off because it's a good one. A flash from the past. Bye, guys.